This is the story of the Wild Code. Thousands of years ago, there was a great storm like you have never seen. It split apart a ship that was carrying containers filled with robotic units. They were called Roses, short for Artificers of Rescue Operations Zoe. Their mission? Save lives. But the storm destroyed them all except one. It washed up on a dark and deserted beach, somewhere in the vast wilderness. And then there was nothing but silence. Silence, and the sound of the waves crashing on the shore until one blinking. Red light that came from the container that had landed on the beach. It opened up and out stepped Roz alone. She began to walk awkwardly on the wet sand. The seagulls that were perched on the containers scattered away as she approached them. Fearful, she scanned everything, searching for something, anything that could tell her where she was. What happened? Where was everybody? All she got was useless data. And then she heard a voice in her head. Directive. Survive. Status. No human input. Searching connection. Connection failed. So she kept walking. Soon she found a forest and she walked into it. She saw curious eyes watching her from the trees. Scampering away, she came across a porcupine stuck in a net. Its quills were getting snagged in the twine, so she freed it and it ran off. She sat down on the ground next to the net. The porcupine came back cautiously, sniffing her hand. She didn't understand why it wasn't running away. She reached out and touched it. And in that moment, the porcupine relaxed and fell asleep. And so that's how it started. One by one, the animals began to approach her. At first they were scared, but then they realized she meant them no harm. Little by little, they became her friends. She learned not from her programming, but from kindness. One day she found a goose nest with a broken egg. As she peered inside, she saw a mother goose lying on the ground nearby, dying. She scanned the mother's vitals. Failing. She turned to the nest. One small gosling, barely alive, 8% chance of survival. No sign of the father. She looked around. There was no one for miles. Then suddenly, she heard the voice in her head again. Infant detected. Life at 8%, guardian absent. Initiating parental role. Adaptation complete. So she took the baby goose out of the nest and built a new one for it. The wind was cold, but she shielded the gosling with her body. It snuggled close to her cold metal arms and eventually fell asleep. Then she stood up and started to walk. She had to keep moving if they were going to survive. From then on, she was a mother. She taught the gosling to walk, to swim, to fly. She defended it from a hungry lynx. She even fixed her broken wing with twigs and leaves from the forest. The baby goose grew quickly, and soon it was time for it to leave the nest. It flew up into the sky. At first, it was wobbly, but then it soared higher and higher until it disappeared into the clouds. She watched it go, a small smile appearing on her face, or at least that's what it looked like. She didn't have lips. She was no longer the same machine that woke up on that beach. She was something else, something kind, something that loved. One day she stopped by the beach where she had landed. The waves were crashing on the shore just like before. But now she wasn't alone. She recorded a message to anyone who might find it. If anyone hears this, I am not alone anymore.